Hey everyone, Chris from the Watching the Throne podcast here, and because it's Monday, we're going to talk about Sunday service again. It's just going to be kind of the weekly Monday segment for a little while. And this week there's some interesting happenings. I don't think anything tremendous, but we're going to get through it. You can see there's a number of tabs open, so I'll move through them as quickly as possible. A lot of it's just kind of overview and an update on how people are looking at Sunday service, and then what happened this last week, and some more details and context in this most recent version of it. So there were 3 articles, one by Variety, one by Cheat Sheet, and one by Insider, that are all kind of the same thing, which is funny that they all came out the same week. I don't know if that's planned, if they're just like ripping off of each other, or what the deal is. But I think if you've been following Sunday service, you know a lot of this information and could have written an article just like this. There were some details that came out that I don't think I knew entirely, but one of them, so let's just go through this one. It's a spiritual version of Kanye songs. Yeah. The location changes week to week. So we know this as we've seen it be in different venues. There was a secret space in Burbank, which is what I was told when they first got started, that it was in Burbank. And then somebody else had mentioned they thought it was in Kanye's home, and this explains it's been in both. And then the outdoor venue has just been in the surrounding hills and forests of Los Angeles, and then also at Adidas headquarters. There's a pre-service to the actual service, but that's just brunch with some of the musicians there and playing or doing something. Everyone must sign a non-disclosure agreement. West spares no expense. Kindness on tap, as everybody that's there is invited by somebody that they know. So there have been a couple of people that have talked about you have to know somebody that's been invited. But that means that if you're there, you're part of this unit, which everybody's really nice and pleasant to you. So if you manage to sneak in, good job. But don't. And then Kim takes a lot of the videos, and this was a change that happened. Initially, the Kardashians or Kris Jenner were live streaming bits and pieces of the Sunday service throughout the service, or doing large chunks. But in that third or fourth one, when Kanye was talking about his 2018 and was referencing the Michael Jackson documentary, people took that out of context and applied it to the R. Kelly documentary. And was Kanye defending R. Kelly? It got blown out of proportion, and that kind of ended the access, like the raw access we were getting via Instagram to Sunday service. Now it's a bit more of a controlled drip from people. I mean, there are people that attend that still post videos, of course, but it's not the same thing as what we were getting, which were these extended live videos. And that's it. Some of the people that have been there, some names you'll recognize, some names that you won't. But there's been an interesting number of people, and still a reminder that Kanye did tape an episode of whatever David Letterman's Netflix show is. So we still have that to look forward to sometime in 2019. So there's that article, and you can kind of scroll through real fast and just see that this is very similar, right? And same with this one. Where is it held? The purpose of the service, the concert series would be part of a promotional strategy. Yeah. And this one real fast, just because I think it's interesting that the zeitgeist, you can see the opinion of Kanye publicly kind of reflected in the media pieces. And it seems through Sunday service, Kanye is kind of won back some favor from people. Not in the way of like, oh, this is just all PR to get back in good graces. But it's just people want to like Kanye, right? I mean, there's plenty of people that want to hate Kanye, but there's many people that just want to enjoy the music Kanye puts out, enjoy Kanye's personality. They can get rattled sometimes when Kanye ramps up and does what Kanye does. But at the end of the day, you know, he's a magnetic figure, and one that the public seems to not be able to get enough of. So seeing articles like this start to come out again is reassuring, because I think with Sunday service and following it these last few weeks, we've been able to see this ramping up of positive attention to it, and just Kanye being talked about in a positive light. And it really does feel like 2018 is kind of falling behind, and we're transitioning into this next phase of engagement with Kanye, which I'm all for. I mean, there's a little bit of the condescension with like Kanye West is finally exciting again. He's been exciting, right? Like that hasn't been in question. It's just good exciting and bad exciting. And even 2018 was still a lot of good exciting. And then we have this, and this just kind of plays into that idea of the zeitgeist and the sense that Sunday service is really becoming something that people are starting to focus on. We're getting just articles about the people in attendance and what they're wearing and what they're doing. It's starting to feel like this much bigger event that has, I don't know, an audience in the public. So that's kind of cool. And then this is the meat of what's going on this week is that DMX was at the Sunday service. I mean, DMX is a legend, right? And you may be wondering, what's DMX been up to? That's what this article is, just to catch us up on where DMX is in 2019. He was in jail for a year for tax evasion, but he just got out in February, I believe it was. And he immediately started performing and announced a tour for the 20th anniversary of It's Dark and Hell is Hot. And you can see some of the dates here. It was 3 dates in March and then a bunch in April into May. And he just finished up with 3 of the dates and would be back in Los Angeles and attend Sunday service in that first week. So that's kind of cool. And there's some video of it here. All right, ready? The blood of Jesus. Shout out to Derivative Mirror.
Your favor surrounds me as a shield, and the first thing that people come in contact with is my favorite shield. Thank you that I have favor with you and man.
He's getting hyped.
All day long, people go out of their way to bless and to help me. I have favor with.
So this is one of the videos. The full video, there will be a link down below. The other part of the video that came out was North dancing. Yeah. Look at that shirt. Lift yourself being awesome, and then power. So I'm pretty sure that's the first time we've heard power at Sunday service. It may have happened in previous weeks, but I haven't seen any video of it yet. So it's cool each week getting to see what new thing is being thrown in. Last week, Liftoff was the newest addition. This week, we're getting power. Like, what's yet to come? So there's that. There'll be a link to this down below. And then just a reminder, if you may be wondering, like, how great would a Kanye DMX collaboration be? That's exactly how I feel. I think that would be fucking awesome. Their energies are so different, but if anybody's going to make that work, it's going to be Kanye. And there is a DMX verse on a remix of Real Friends. I don't know if this was... I really don't know the backstory on this. I don't know if DMX came to the studio, if Kanye just hit him up and asked for him to do a verse, if like he did it himself and it just kind of got released. But you can hear the verse here. I'm not going to play it just because of the YouTube's copyright stuff and all of that, but there'll be a link, or you can just Google Real Friends DMX and get the link. But the verse is really cool and kind of goes along with some of the heavier religious elements that you were hearing in his prayer that he delivered at Sunday service today, with just getting into this existential and philosophical concepts at this higher level. Not just like X gonna give it to you, right? Which like X gonna give it to you is hilarious and awesome and has all this attitude and like, yeah, but there's something about this that's way more up my alley. Hate who I love, blessed with the curse. I was born to die, best of the worst. Wings but can't fly, but first things first. I will until I'm stretched in a hearse. Guys don't get me, but I ain't complicated. Thing about the truth is most people hate it. Didn't ask God for what I wanted, I waited. Until he felt like I earned it, then he gave it. Anything worth having is worth earning. The true nature of man is definitely worth learning. Because while you're concerning yourself with discerning whether it's worth saving, it's usually worth burning. That's one of my favorite lines that I think I've heard from DMX. And if it was a line on The Life of Pablo, would be one of my favorite lines on the album. Like, what? The true nature of man is definitely worth learning, because while you're concerning yourself with discerning whether it's worth saving, it's usually worth burning. Just this idea of being able to, I don't know, you try to get into all of this. I don't need to explain it right now. I want to, but I don't need to. I knew from the start that this life wasn't mine. Okay, I'm going to explain it. We sometimes scramble with like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. Like, I want to keep this. Should I, like, we get into a lot of potentials, right? And wondering about what we should do or could do. And most of the time, I think the proper step is just to move forward. Like, if you're worrying so much about whether or not you should save it or get rid of it, the answer is usually just move on, burn it, step forward, and find something fresh. Because if you keep giving this thing space in your life, then you can't make room for anything else. So just getting at that concept that, like, I can let this thing go is a very powerful attitude, and can sometimes, like, just how you view the world wise be more of a superpower of just having that ability to say, yeah, I can move on from this. I can let go of this and create space for something fresh and new in my life. Anyway, I knew from the start that this life wasn't mine. That's why from the start I put my life on the line. Yeah. Gangsters running around crying about dying. I got faith. I'ma go when it's my time. There's just such an idea of catharsis in this verse, of being able to get out of your own head and just look at accomplishing, succeeding, moving towards something, because you have faith that things will work out and you have faith that you can let things go. There's an unburdening to this that kind of plays into the idea of real friends. This idea that Kanye kind of looks around at the people in his life and goes, this is kind of shitty. Like, all these people just want something from me. And I've created that by not having these positive relationships, by living in excess. So now the people in my life are wolves, but at the same time, like, you can't keep wolves around. So I don't know. I love real friends. I love this verse. It's really cool. Team Kanye Daily has 2 other videos. One, and I'm playing this because you can hear the song in the background. I think it's another gospel song, but I think it's also a song that I haven't heard at Sunday service yet. North. And then Tony Williams performing and just kind of doing a rendition. He's been at every Sunday service, I do believe, singing and performing. So that's been cool to see. But Team Kanye Daily always has the latest updates on things as well. So if you're not following them, I don't know how you're watching this and not following them, but you should be. And then Laura here shared this and just a close-up on the shirt if you wanted to see the detail on the shirt. And then what else do we got? Oh, Vanessa Beecroft, who has been a longtime Kanye collaborator. She, I guess, was there for week 11 as Team Kanye Daily credited her with these photographs, which that's a pretty cool picture of Kanye. And then you get just a photo from Sunday service, another photo at Kanye at the keyboards, and then Kanye at the mic. And real fast, every other week we've seen Sunday service, everybody's been wearing white. Somebody was asking why they were wearing black. I don't have a definitive answer, and I haven't seen yet a definitive answer. I don't know if it was something in the wake of what happened in New Zealand and the 49 people that were killed there, if this is in memoriam to them or in honor of them, just putting on black to symbolize mourning. that could be the case. We know Kanye opened Ultralight Beam with Pray for Paris. So he is kind of aware of these things happening in the world and making gestures to show a concern and solidarity. So it could be that. It could just be that this week he wanted to change up the look a little bit, right? I have no other idea. Everything else would just be theories and speculation, but that's the best that I have at the moment. And then we got, yeah, that's Tony Williams. And then that concludes the video. Our Breathe In, Breathe Out episode came out last week. Our School Spirit episode should be coming out by the time this video is out. I actually don't know why it's not out right now, but it's our line-by-line deep dive into School Spirit. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you listen to podcasts. A reminder that the Yeezus Book is available. It's the best and most detailed book on Yeezus that you can find. Doubles as kind of a collector's item, as it's full of original art inspired by the album and is kind of decked out visually. So it's not just text that will open up your mind to how you view the album, but has some cool stuff inside of it. And then we're also in a few hours launching not the best Kanye West song tournament, Deathmatch Extreme 3000. That happens in December. It's the Kanye West music video madness, which is going to be our March bracket that we do over the next few years. But it's all of Kanye's music videos competing in a 64 music video tournament. So that's going to last for the next week and a half, March 19th through, I think, the 27th or 28th. So every day you can follow us on Twitter and see the polls and vote and just have some fun with seeing some Kanye videos that you may not have seen and following along with how the voting's going and what might win or will win. But that does it for this video. We'll be back tomorrow with something. Until then, if you want to support the channel in any other way that's not money, the easiest way is just to subscribe, like, and keep watching videos, as that tells YouTube this is content that people are enjoying, which goes a long way to helping us continue to grow the channel, monetize it, and do things. So that's much appreciated. Until the next time, stay wavy and keep it loopy.